All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm glad you're joining us for Old Gray Bricks live chat. Welcome to the show. We accidentally scheduled it for 7:30, so if you are coming in a little bit later, that's cool, but we're going to get started here with our guest panel today. We have a lot of guests. We have a new guest today, which we'll get to in more in depth, but Steve Witt is here, Mark's here, Meredith's here, Dana's here, Rich is here, Matt's here, Gil is here, and Ryan is here, and we've got to talk to Ryan first because what have you done to yourself, man?
I made my wife happy. I told her when I came off of furlough that the beard would go away, and I milked another couple weeks out of it, but it finally had to go. I hate it, but she loves it.
Isn't that what's important?
Yes.
That's always the way it is. You know, I don't have facial hair because I'm keeping my wife happy.
Yeah,
So,
she does not like any action on this face.
No action.
No action.
I can get away with it for Christmas holidays, but that's about it.
That's awesome, dude. Jeff McElwee, welcome to the chat. Kittenville Brick, Winter Bricker, welcome to the chat on the side. Well, let's just go ahead around the room and tell us what's going on in your Lego world. Let's go back to Ryan. Tell us what is up in your Lego room, dude, or your Lego world.
I mean, what's happening in my Lego room and my Lego world has been, now that we're moved in, we're like all in on the sorting action. Every night, my wife and I sort the mess behind me and around me, and she enjoys doing it during the day while the kids are playing. So she's continuing to chip away at it while I'm at work, which is good because we've got a few totes behind me that we're going to have to get into at some point here and make space for it in the collection behind me and around me.
Wow. I'm still impressed at the drawers and the shelf and how that fits together. It makes it nice and neat. So,
like a glove.
Like a glove. All right. So tell us how things are going, whatever you can tell us about the park, how things are going there.
Still good. Still progressing. Just like everybody else, I'm also waiting to hear when it's going to open next year, but that's about all I know, and all I can say is sometime next year, hopefully in the spring, but I don't even know officially, so I can't even play coy about it because I don't know. But we're plowing ahead. We've got models getting ready to go into the park, and you might see some of that stuff come up in PR events coming up soon.
Right, but you're not allowed to share with us any information about the models or anything going in, correct?
I mean, not a whole lot yet. So far, they've unveiled a couple of things. They showed off the Manhattan Transportation Hub. It's sometimes called the Oculus by locals. It looks like a big skeleton embedded in the ground. But they haven't shown off a whole lot besides that, so I can't share someone else's secrets quite yet.
Jeff went with yes. Is there a beard shaving trend? Not in my house, but in some houses and everything. But now, did you shave the beard so your wife would sort? Is that part of the deal?
I mean, that might have been a happy side effect of it. I'm not exactly sure.
All right, good deal, man. Always glad to have you here. Let's head to the Great White North, and tell us what's going on, Gil. What's going on in your world?
Well, what's going on more than anything is the side of my cheeks are bleeding after Ryan going through about 50 innuendos between what his wife demands and action and this and that. Like, it's a family channel and you're killing me. You're killing me, man. Oh, like seriously, like they're bloody on the inside. Right? Oh, yeah. But, you know, this is like par for the course for Ryan. I swear that Ryan scripts the whole thing to torture me for like 55 minutes once a week. So,
I'll never tell.
Exactly. Yeah. So outside of that, one thing I did do this week, or like over the last week or so, I've been sort of doing some more Lego photo shoots, which I've been posting to my Instagram account. One of them was it's one build was actually it's like a container ship, a littoral container ship that's being rescued by a 90s Coast Guard thing and that. So a couple things are up there, but one thing that I did hold back to show for this stream was, and I'll try to bring it up here, share screen, share screen. And and Chrome tab, application window. I'm getting there. Hold
You're
on
being
for the
so
old
dad right
I
now.
know you're talking every
I
step.
know.
You're like the guy at the post office when I'm trying to ship something.
Honey, where's the Internet Explorer?
I
Which
know.
one?
So I need to.
Wait, I lost
reply
my
to all.
toolbar.
All right, you share that?
Okay,
There it is.
it's sharing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this one was for space. So yeah.
Space.
Some mad skills there.
Hey, can you
Wait,
like
Fran?
with the mouse zoom around on it and let us see what's going on in the picture a little bit more?
Really, I
Zoom.
can.
Welcome to the chat, Brian and Nathan Proudlove. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, is that zooming for you?
Yeah, that's better. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, basically all this is it's just like a setup with there when there are a whole bunch of different lights. You know, a lot of these lights are lit up with like laser pointers. The one back here is just a pen light that's kind of put in behind it, and so all of this is sort of like it's a way of trying to recapture something that we all did as kids. Like, you know, you put the thing down on the desk, you know, you get your face like right up to it, and you know, sort of like put yourself in like the scene. So yeah, so that's sort of what the purpose of this is. So
Sweet.
yeah, so that's it.
Hey,
You do that.
will you, Meredith, please don't date while we're in. But that's Brian that's in there. I see. Oh, I got you. So is Brian not there? Is he off on one of his adventures?
He's making sure that everyone has orange juice for the Eastern Seaboard. So he's at a orange juice factory in Florida.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Gil, I meant to ask a question. The effects that we just saw, are those all in camera or are those some Photoshop or a little bit of both?
They're mostly they're like 95%. The only thing I did is I just put a screen burn overlay on the white on the one that's coming in through the back window, just to get the flare, but that's it. But the rest is all in camera. The one, if anyone's watching or anyone's like follows the articulated comic book art tag on Instagram, they're basically guys who try to take like comic panels and they recreate them with figures and stuff. For them, these guys are like hardcore in camera people. So if you do use Photoshop when you post it there, they kind of begrudgingly say, okay, but it's better if you do all practical. So that's what I'm trying to do, is go from like 90% to like 100%. So
So there's Photoshop shaming.
Yes.
Photoshop.
it is. It really is.
What? It's
gentle
impressive
shaming,
to get those colors and stuff in there. That's really awesome. Super awesome. All right. Welcome, Brian's Bricks, to the chat. Since you just popped in, I'm going to go to you. Tell us what's going on in your Lego world, man.
Oh boy! So
The
this week
beards
is
are
a
back.
really exciting one. This is a set that I honestly never thought I would own, but a buddy found it at a.
Wait. Where's the wall decoration?
Oh, my wife started school back, so she's got to use this for Zoom calls. So
You have
had to take them down for now, but I'll try to get some more up.
Is she teaching or is she taking classes?
Taking classes. She's gonna be student teaching soon, though.
Students need visual backgrounds.
That's true. I heart Legos up in the side there.
What did you have on the wall that was inappropriate for school?
You just said I heart Legos.
All right, let's see this set that you got. I'm excited. What you got there, man?
All right, so he found this. He lives in Wisconsin, so he had to ship it here. So it took a while to get here for him to find a big enough box. But
Ooh.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so he found it for $15 on Facebook Marketplace.
What?
So
Oh man.
Is it all there?
yeah, let me turn my computer around. I've got it set up on the table here.
Oh, yay.
Ooh, wow,
Oh.
it's big.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh
It's got
man.
the board here. It's got 3 of the Lego HO style cars in very good condition. Yeah, it was missing like 6 pieces. So here is the bag of extra pieces. This is just from like the set itself. So it's got a huge bag of extra pieces, all the models. It had enough to build all the models that were displayed on the box. And then it even had gift set 700, which I just built this out of the pieces that are included, but it's just like a basic brick set, but that is another one from the early 60s. And then it had Wheel Toy, I think this is like 605, another just basic brick set from the early 60s, and most of these pieces are the cellulose acetate before they started using ABS. And then just out of the extra pieces, I decided to try to make some weird looking house, but it's got some red base plates, early looking 10 by 20 base plates. And then lastly, the Samsonite gear set. It's got the complete set 001, I believe, or 01, something like that. So yeah, it was like 4 complete sets and then like 300 extra pieces for $15. One of the best things I've ever found.
$15. Well, what does one of those little cars go for on like Bricklink or whatever?
Each of those HO scale cars in that condition can be anywhere between like $15 and $30. So pretty pricey.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, it's a great fun. You're getting more older Lego than we are, so you're.
Yeah, I really love like the old historic stuff, and this is the sets that I've seen in like the Ultimate Lego book when I was a really young kid. So it's the stuff that I was always like, wow, I'll never have that because it's 60 years old, but when you find it for $15, you got to get it.
$15 is $15. That's awesome. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go around the room. Let's talk to Meredith, since you guys have been dating online while we've been having the show. It's okay. But anyway, Meredith, what is going on in your Lego room, Lego world today?
Not much. As we said, we got the sales on Monday for the Narwhal. Which,
there's a boat going by behind you at the same time you're talking about your boat, by the way.
Well, yeah. Those are only pontoon boats. They're not classy like this.
Ooh.
So I got the custom sails. Wow. I haven't had a chance to. We did this for about 10 minutes on Monday, and that's as far as we got. So got some fun trolls, pink or purple rubber band rigging going on, and that's about it. That's all we got done, and not much else. We also made a chandelier for the captain's quarter that lights up.
Ooh, light it up. Can you light it up? Or do you have to buy the battery pack or whatever?
No, the battery pack's right here. I just have it disconnected. Give me a second.
Is that a Life Lights pack that you got on there?
Yeah. So the bulk that Brian bought 2 weeks ago was just apparently these people bought their kid everything. And I have a whole bin of this stuff now.
Really?
So we've been just trying it out.
Sweet. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
And I also hear from a certain individual that's usually with us that likes to say woo, that you guys sent him some bricks, and he was very appreciative of that. So
yes. Well, we want to see the castle get bigger, and now we want to see ponies in the stable.
All right, good deal. So Bricksmith was real appreciative of that. Welcome some folks in the chat. Chris Campbell is in the chat. Welcome. Stephen Brent from Roxborough, North Carolina, where I used to live long ago. I'm glad you're here. Yes, Life Lights are very cool, and so we're excited about that. All right,
Brian finds the best buy sometimes. Not to confuse that Brian, which also got a good buy. So.
Stick with your Brians and your Ryans. They'll get you free Lego and nice Lego and all that kind of stuff. All right, good deal. Let's go. Do what?
I said too many Brians and Ryans
and not enough beards apparently. But by the way, Brian, we are glad you showed up because let's see, this one lost his beard, and let's see, this one. This one lost his beard. So I don't know what's going on with these people. Get rid of their beard. Speaking of somebody who
Show the
does
rover.
not have a
Show the
beard
rover.
at all,
These
let's
people.
go to Rich. Rich, what's going on in your Lego world, buddy?
Well, I'm trying to sort the last little bits and start packing some things for the room. The wife actually went into the storage place, the climate-controlled storage place, and booked us at least one storage container for this and other things. So this will be starting to go into storage here real soon.
What's your plan or technique for
stuff.
moving, by the way?
And
packing those doors
up. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take the stacks and cellophane wrap them and just move them like that. Same for the Arco type stuff. Just going to take them down off the wall and cellophane wrap
I'm
them.
going to tell you those when you
and
do
take
that with
them out.
Acro Mills bins, because I've done it before, you end up sorting the entire thing. I'm just saying,
I'm not going to turn it upside down.
You're better
Steve.
off sticking the drawers in a Ziploc bag individually, because otherwise you're going to just have a mess. And I say that from experience, like just having a complete, absolute, utter, I would have been better off just dumping them all in a single bin.
Yep, that's what we've been sorting this week. The movers tipped ours upside down. I know you're probably going to be careful with your own stuff.
But no,
okay,
no,
but
we're moving
still,
our own stuff.
accidents happen,
We're moving
man.
our own stuff.
Yeah,
but
and any shaking will.
I don't know that I could do that. I mean, I've got this much.
Yeah, I've done
this
it.
much.
Yeah, when we moved,
Individual? No, I think my wife.
when we moved, basically we pulled every drawer out. We poured the stuff into a bag, zipped the bag up, and stuck it back in the drawer. We did that we did it for everyone, and that little bit of time saved. I didn't have sort of thing when we got.
Yeah, I think that's the only way, honestly.
Okay, well, I'll have to convince my wife that that's the way it's got to be. Well, I'll let you know.
This is the way.
I'll let you know when we get moved.
This is the way.
Whether it worked.
All right. So when
the
are you
other
breaking
thing
it down? How long before you break it down?
I'm going to start. Well, we're contracted for the first of the month, so as soon as I can get stuff out of here, I got my bulk storage in the recycling bins. You know, they're big, 50-gallon with the thing on lid opens like that, full of plates and bricks. You know, like you throw your cans and bottles in. Those wall to wall. Do you want to see? Do you really want to see? I can go show you.
Sure.
We can take a walk. Here we go. Taking a walk. Woohoo, castle. Ooh. All right. Bionicle poster that I got from the Lego store when I worked there. Cool stuff. Here we go. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. All this stuff is going to be moved. All this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's in those bins? Open one bin and let us see what's in it.
Careful.
You can see all that. Okay.
Is that just basic brick?
Plate. Wow. All white.
Ugh, color.
Holy moly.
Yeah, this is why I need a place to play. This is why we're getting 4,000 square feet of something.
Wow.
Wow.
What's in here?
Just build your house.
Pink. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the writing on the bins is exactly what it says.
Wow.
Have you seen enough?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good to know. And my wife found some pictures as she was sorting through her stuff that I took that I was in Northwest BrickCon 2003, and I put those up on Flickr last night and fixed them up today. So if you want to go to my Flickr page and look at stuff, I think there's a young Mark Sandlin on there. And I thought I identified Rob Bender, but he said, that's not me. There's a Larry Pignatzik picture. There's a Brom Lembrick. Brom's on there. I don't know if he's in the chat, but Brom, I've got your picture with your Seattle Space Needle proudly next to it. And who else? John Palmer. There's a John Palmer picture.
Cool. So, what is your handle on Flickr for people to look at?
I think it's just me, Richard Shamus.
All right, y'all can go look that up. See some old time pictures, and all that kind of stuff. Canadian Papa Bear. Oh, where's my Canadian Papa Bear? I'm gonna find my Canadian Papa Bear. Is a friend from Twitch, and I'll grab my Canadian Papa Bear and put it on here in just a second, man. All right, so let's go to who have we been to? Let's go to Mr. Mark Sandlin. What is going on in your Lego world today, man?
Hey, I was just trying to look something up for you, but first let's go to Small Paul Cam. There's Small Paul over there. Say, hey, what's up, buddy? That is all that Lego spread across the floor, by the way. He's having a grand time.
You have massive amounts of flashlights on your table. Is that because your kid plays with them or you need them?
It's because we live in the South and there are thunderstorms that knock out the power and, tornadoes and fun things like that. So I was actually just looking up. I'll have to holler at you when I find it because
yes, I have the Twitch.
Well, the doctor can get you something for that.
True.
I was just finding a link to show you. Okay, I am going to do a share screen. The browser has blocked your screen. Click the. Okay, I don't.
TV, welcome, and he says hi to Paul. The Brick Burrow, welcome. Good to have you here. We're wondering if, by the way, if Sarah Starshine, she's going to make it here. I bet you she has gone to sleep in Norway. All right, so what you got? You going to share something here? I'll look for it in the bottom here.
Click this. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Bro, do you even internet?
Yeah, well, who was making fun of the old man earlier? I got to hit the thing and the thing and do the thing.
You're like making me look like some sort of tech genius.
All right, never mind. I got a piece of artwork.
Wow, Kevin Hinkle, get your Hinkle stuff up. Woo, Kevin Hinkle.
Ice Planet
baby.
This is the original Ice Planet lady.
Yeah, but that's not Hinkle's art, is it? Who drew that?
No,
Do we know?
This is not Hinkle's art. This is from Bricks on the Dollar, which I'm gonna try to put in the private chat.
I know Hinkle's done some stuff with him and partnered with him, but yeah.
Yeah, I just put it in the private chat. If you want to put that in the comments for people to see.
Yep.
There are some really great spacey artworks on that page. There's like Blacktron characters and Futron characters and Ice Planet characters, and it's really cool. So I really thought this was great. So I bought a print, and it's still in a bag because the frame hasn't got here yet. But I'm going to put it right there on the wall behind me in that empty spot. So cool. So that's very cool. And on Monday's stream, I started building the Ultimate Quinjet, which I finished, and it's really great. It's
It's the best Quinjet.
It is. It's cool. It's our Canadian colleague will be very happy with the playability. Look at all this playability. It opens up. It's got the character. You can open the front. It has an old school ramp. This is like straight up classic spacey kind of goodness back here. Ramp. You can flip your big shooter out of the way.
Of course you can.
And then it's got a little
so many orifices
bike thing in the back. It's very cool.
Gross.
Did you say what I thought you just said? Anyway, sorry.
I
Go
said
ahead.
you can fit so
This is
many
With no
Avengers.
irony whatsoever.
You can fit so many
With
Avengers.
No irony
So
detected.
many Avengers.
So
Yes.
many Avengers.
So anyway, yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of interlocking snot bricks and things on the sides, and it's really sturdy. Like it's a very, very sturdy in the way it's built, and it's really just a good set. It's awesome. So I got that off Amazon on clearance, which I was really happy about. So yay.
Yeah. You did the thing that I always do when you see clearance, you buy it, make sure it's shipped to you, and then tell everybody else about it. So which is a smart thing to do. Welcome to more folks. We mentioned Canadian Papa Bear, Rick Burrow, and he is in Atlanta. So glad you are here. Blueberry is here. Good to see you. Flip your what? All right. So, Stever, welcome to the chat. All right. So, we will. Oh, we just lost somebody. Who did we lose?
Not it.
Nope. All right. Anyway, let me go to. Matthew. There he is. Matthew, you've been chomping at the bit. Have at it.
All right, I'm gonna try to flip the camera and see if I can match or exceed Sandlin's technical prowess. All right, so I have been talking about this cathedral, and I always talk about how it's downstairs. So I'm downstairs today, and that's also Miss Cassie over there on the couch. Say hi, Cassie. Wave, Cassie. She's not paying attention. Anyways, this is the 13,000 piece cathedral, and right now I'm working on this arch, this curved section that'll slot in here. But I'll walk around, and so this is kind of the front entrance. And so we've got the bell towers finished, and we have the first floor, and you look in there. The lights fell down because I was working on the roof, but there's all the pews. And you come up there, and there's the front and the I don't know I'm not Catholic, so I don't know what they call that, but where you bury the saints or whatever. They need some torsos and white, but they got legs. I think that's called the nave, but eventually there'll be a floor that goes on top and a big dome. The dome's actually already built, but it's sitting in the other room. There's a lot of little details. So like you zoom in here, like each one of these sections uses trans black squares. There's a lot of these little croissants.
I was gonna say those croissants. How many white croissants did you have to buy?
I don't know, but the thing that really was expensive were all of these pillar pieces. That was one of the things I definitely had to bulk order. And there's also a ton of the smaller pillars that go into the set. But the really, really crazy thing that I needed just an absolute ton of were 1x1s. And, I thought I had a lot of them, but this thing chews through about 500 of them. So I've made multiple Bricklink orders so that I can get them all done and I can work on this thing. So it's coming along. It's going to be 13,000 pieces. I don't know. I'd say I'm about 60% of the way done. The only thing I would say, so the guy that designed it was like a 20-year-old Italian. And I think the design is pretty good. The one thing that he did is he didn't put these tiles so that they bridge the seam in the base plates. And so 2 days ago, I went to rotate it, and the base plates all started splitting apart because there was really nothing to hold them together. So I actually popped every single gray tile and moved them over one stud so that now all the tiles bridge the base plate seam rather than sit on the seam. It's a lot more stable, but if I ever take this to a show, I don't know. I'm going to need like a piece of plywood to put under the thing, and then 2 people to help me like carry it in and out. It's going to be massive, but. And
I want to see you come driving up in a U-Haul with this thing just in the back of it. That would be amazing.
Middle plate.
Well, we have a CRV, so we can just pop it in there and pop it in the back and drive it. But I don't need to trip over anything or any of that kind of stuff. But that's my massive long-term project, and it's gone through starts and stops as I've had to pause to order new parts, but we're almost. I think we've got all the parts to finish it. So the end is in sight.
Some questions about that. The cathedral will get rocket launchers to launch into space when it's done, right? Yes, we are going to add rockets to that. If we can, we will add rockets to it.
Whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right
That's
here,
true.
we could put a rocket in the bell tower. I think that kind of looks like a launch. It's got some launch potential.
You need to have one of those towers split apart and a missile come out of it. That would be amazing. Welcome an old time friend, Keith Goldman, to the chat. Keith, is the worst person. Woo! That's awesome. Oh, I see. Mark.
Straight out of Vegas, baby.
Hey, Mark, you want me to go ahead and share that, by the way?
Yeah.
It's an old picture of old days. Look at there.
So yeah, the reason I wanted to put this picture up from long ago is I was watching a Forever Sorting this afternoon with Bricksmith and Kevin A. Hinkle, and they were talking about the Travis brick and how I think Kevin said that he thought Travis was a designer or something like that. And I just thought I would mention Travis, who is in the picture there. He's in the back on the left behind Nick. Travis was an AFOL just like the rest of us, and he really loved that brick with 5 studs. And he had a tattoo of the brick, and we unfortunately lost Travis early. He passed away very young. And so all of us started calling it the Travis brick in his memory. And it's very cool that people still call it that, but I think the original idea has been forgotten. Like, nobody really knows where it came from. So
Right.
I just thought I'd throw it up and mention that, just so that little piece of history for people to remember.
That picture.
I know. That was Brickfest.
Here's my question about that picture.
Yeah, that was
Are you
2003.
and Chris legal
That's
to drink in this picture?
That's a Northwest BrickCon picture because Rom is wearing the same shirt and you're wearing the same shirt that I just put up on my Flickr.
No, Rich, this is Brickfest 2003.
That's right.
No.
I never went to BrickCon, and I'm fat and just barely in this frame. You know, there's plenty of room, but I'm fat enough to squeeze into the side there. Thank you very much. So.
And the T-shirt I'm wearing in that photo was my Hot Space Station Justice shirt, which I'm sorry you can't see more of. It was great.
Oh, that's okay. I'll tell you that it's got to be, that has to be you in the pictures that I took at Northwest BrickCon because you look amazingly the same. It must have been within 6 months of that.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's 17 years ago, man. Can you believe that? That's so weird, right?
My favorite part of that
That's
picture,
like 10 gallstones and 5 full backs ago.
I was in fact 29 in that photo.
so my favorite part of that picture has got to be Adrian's look and just the flash in his eyes. I wish he was here just for us to give him grief about that. So, can we bring that up again when Adrian's back on the show?
Yeah, we need to bring that back up again. All right, man. So tell us what's going on in your world, man.
Oh, we're on me. Oh, okay.
You're on me.
We're on me. So how do we do this? If we talk about something on Messy Monday, do we talk about it again on Old Gray Bricks?
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. So small recap. As you remember, we were talking about micro moonbase in last week's episode, and I started talking about Mills plates. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've decided I'm going to go 32 by 32s instead of the 48 by 48. So I've gotten a few more plates. I've got 4 of them ready to roll. I'm going to decompose that one and get this set up. So it's kind of my project. And the main reason, other than just making it portable and having it modular to move around, is that I really want to take advantage of these channels in here. And I'm going to do some lighting. And I've been talking to a few people. I've looked at a couple of different methods. I halfway think I'm going to go ahead and do it myself, do a DIY project and actually order some LED lights and some cables and do that. So I'll give you updates on that as the weeks progress on that and my failures, because we know we never do something right the first time. We always have to fail a couple times to make them right. So that'll be in the future. On Monday, we also talked about that I made another little moonbase building to add to my micro moonbase. Gave a little stripes on the top there. And when I originally built it, these windows were clear. So they looked like these. How do I do that? Yep. So they were clear. And my madman skills, I took a boiling pot of turmeric and dropped a bunch of those little guys in there and made them trans yellow. If you were with us, you saw that Julian Bergsmith, he basically said I was a heretic, and he was really considering dropping me as a friend because I was doing some just awful things to these official Lego bricks.
With tumors?
Tumors, yeah. But if you haven't tried that, it does do an effective job of taking any of the transparent pieces and turning them into trans yellow. Be aware, though, that depending on the year and the piece, sometimes it can go south and you will get a funky, cloudy, yucky piece that you'll wind up throwing away. So be aware that is a possibility, but for the most part, it is pretty simple and easy to do. That's it. That's all I got going on because the last couple of days I've been off doing a Star Wars fan film and got to run around in my Stormtrooper outfit and then my Imperial officer and some of the screenshots or some of the little video I've seen has been pretty awesome. I can't wait to share that with you guys in the future when it comes out.
How wet did you get?
Oh, I got so sweaty yesterday, it was not funny. I probably lost at least 5 pounds of water weight without even thinking about it. I mean, it was just, I think it was what, 93 degrees yesterday, give or take, when we were in the sun in the afternoon. So, yeah, I've lost some pounds, so which is good. So I can put them back on this weekend. So that's all I've got for what's going on in the Lego world this week. So, Chris, if you want to go ahead and flip up to my other screen, and we'll go to our weekly segment.
Hang on, let me get there. Takes me a second. There we go.
All righty. So, and we will get sound effects for this. I've already been looking at it today. But without the regular special effects that will come in the future, somehow, Chris, you just put me back.
It's gone.
You know what I did? I was on
You closed the window, you goober.
You know what? I did that before. This is the problem with having multiple monitors. I know. All right, try again.
All right, you get tonight's back in the chat. There you go.
Tonight's theme is technical challenges by people who work in IT.
I'm glad Ryan is enjoying his book.
Spoiler alert! Can't find a starter set.
All right. So that being said, this old gray brick set of the week is 6823 Surface Transport. Look at that little guy.
So cute.
Kitty kids, isn't he cute?
Actually, I used to love that thing, man.
So I'm going to gush over this set here in a minute, but let's talk about some details real quick. So, Classic Space at 1983, a whole whopping 27 pieces. Minifigures, one yellow naked spaceman. Used price is $13. So that comes out to about 48 cents a piece for this set. So
wow.
when you can get one in box, and they're actually kind of common. It's actually surprising how many were available in box. You can get one for about $95, which comes out to be a little over $3.50 per piece.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've put that in there thinking about this would be kind of a cool segment to talk about how much it is per piece if you're buying something like that. I may not do that again because it makes me cringe at some of the things that I spent money on. So moving right along, why is it cool? Fat tires. You give me a classic space set that's got those old round fat tires, and it's an automatic classic for me. I love those things. Couldn't get enough of them when I was a kid. Bring them on. Puffy tires. Yeah, there we go. Ladder pieces on the back. Another classic space piece. I know they probably use them in some castle and some fire sets, but for me, those will always be space pieces. That little cargo box, again, I know they've used them for mailboxes and stuff like that, but again, to me, that is a classic space piece, especially in the old gray. And then that metal detector with the stud on top. I mean, right there, that is just golden. I think this is probably one of the first sets that piece actually came in. So there she is again. that articulation in the middle there. You got one. I mean, so many. I mean, just 27 pieces, and that's including all the pieces for the minifigure. So for you to do all that at once and that little guy, that is just a phenomenal little set. Let's go ahead and we'll switch cams to the live version. Chris, go ahead and flip us over. Did you flip us over?
I did. There it is.
There we go. All right. So, yep. So there we got him. So you can see a little section that rotates in the middle there. Kind of cool. You can flip her around. You got your little door that pops open. You can take and either put that red barrel in there or find some of those little.
Seriously trolling Chris with the blue-handed guy back there.
Oh,
I know it. I see it.
Just straight trolling him.
Just trolling. And then I took the liberty of going out and it's very difficult unless I go find some instructions for this guy. It was actually kind of hard to see this is actually one of the alt builds off the instructions and the little tiny square in the back of the box.
It's so different.
Well, you've got that consistent hinge there in the middle. But what's interesting is if you notice, they took the door off. That was the only way to build this alt build, was to take the door off, because if you put it on there, you don't have your clearance from your puffy tires. I
never figured out why they put the headlight bricks in the back part. I mean, they look cool and everything, but on the original build, they put the headlight bricks there behind there.
Yeah,
I've never understood why, but it's neat.
I'm going to go ahead and say that was 1983 greebling.
Good chance.
That's about as close as I mean, because you think about the ladders. I mean, the ladders really don't do you anything. That's just greebling. I think that's greebling before we knew what to call it. Or the guys in '77 were calling it greebling from the Star Wars sets, maybe from the kit bash. But
if you had one of the other space sets, you could fuel your rover with those.
There you go. You take in and you plug in to the little port to power it up, and you're good to go.
Well, wasn't the Alpha 1 rocket base had the little faucets with hoses that you could use as fueling?
Well, what was interesting is the hoses were on the little rover that you could hook up to them. So yeah, you absolutely could do that.
All right. That's awesome. We'll switch back to our group. By the way, I've got my Canadian Papa Bear. If Canadian Papa Bear is still here. Canadian Papa Bear does his chat on Twitch, and he has a little version of himself in the corner as his live self with all the other stuff going on. So it looks a lot like a little miniature. That's the little Canadian Papa Bear right there. So Canadian Papa Bear, this is for you, buddy. I'm just saying. All right. So, all right. And we need to get to, let me show you this by the way, welcome a few more folks. I know that Garden Lab, you're here. John Palmer is in the chat. Glad to have you here. And this is a little picture of John Palmer from way back in 2003.
Look at that man.
Nice Radiohead shirt.
That's right. Where was that taken? Was that at George Mason?
Yeah, that was also that was Brickfest 2003. That's in the same photo gallery. I thought I'd throw that up.
That's so awesome.
I think that's Brahms' arm in the black shirt.
Do what?
I think that's Brahms' arm right there.
Brahms' arm, and Brahm is in the chat. So Brahm, we missed most of you in this picture, but we do have your arm, so that's really good. So Brahm, hey Micah, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here and everything. So we have a special guest for many of us old timers. It's somebody that was our good friend back in the day, and he's still our good friend, although we don't get to hang out as much. Many of you know Kevin Hinkle as the community guy, but before Kevin Hinkle and before his reign in that role, we had a good friend in Steve, and Steve is here. Steve is still a Lego fan and a builder. Oh, and you have a mini Steve with you too. That's really cool. And so Steve, tell us about yourself and tell us. Hang on. He saw this picture. Anyways. Anyway, Steve, tell us what's going on in your world. Introduce us to your little bud. Oh, he's leaving.
He said he's going to build something and bring it back to show you.
Excellent. Good work.
Good work. All right, Steve, welcome. Tell us about what's going on in your Lego world, what you've been up to, and the last decade since I saw you face to face, and whatever's going on. Tell us what's up.
So I was the Lego community coordinator for 5 years, from 2005-ish to 2011-ish. That math doesn't work out. I don't remember. But I worked there for a while. I had a good time, met a lot of nice people. Eventually we left, and my wife and I both moved back to Texas from Connecticut because we were lonely. But we never stopped really enjoying it. I still love Lego, still love building. With my Lego world right now, I just finished a project that, hi Blueberry, I just finished a project that I've been working on for over 5 years now. Basically, I started this when we found out that my wife was pregnant with Caden, the older one that you just saw, and I am just terribly slow at building. But I don't know if Chris, you want to show the picture of that real quick?
Sure. Let me get to it. There it is.
This is an in progress shot of it because the final shots are I owe somebody them, so I can't show them off until it gets released where he's releasing it. It's based on a Halo ship. You can see here that the back is not quite there at all, and the top of it also is mostly missing in this picture, but it's done now. It's on display at a local hobby shop, and it was a fun build. It was exhausting, but I'm glad I did it. And now I finally have my build table back, and I am just like kind of giddy with the ability to actually do something else. But yeah, that's what's going on in my Lego world. Is I'm kind of excited to be building something else. I found a really cool Hogwarts castle on Rebrickable, and I'm messing around with that now. So I think I'm so spaceship that I want to. Oh, sorry, what?
How long is that ship?
It's just under 7 feet, and 32 inches wide. It weighs 112 pounds. So I threw out my back this weekend installing it. Let me see. I can find a comparison shot.
Is it based off the Pillar of Autumn?
It's not the Pillar of Autumn because that's a different type of ship in the Halo universe. It's based off what the Forward Unto Dawn originally was before it got changed in Halo 4. It's also lit up. You can see here I worked with Rob from Life Flights, and we lit the whole thing up. And then it splits into 5 sections. So when I was splitting it up one time and I had to unplug the little plugs, I ripped them out of the wiring. So currently it is not lit up because Rob and I haven't been able to get together since all the COVID-19 stuff has been happening. So I'm hoping to get back together with him once things have chilled out a little bit, and there's another Incubus concert that lets them come down to Dallas-Fort Worth. So, because that's the only reason they ever come here. And then we can get the lighting finalized. But right now it's that's the only thing that's not complete is the wiring part of it. But there you can kind of see it next to my son. Just kind of for size comparison, but. Wow. It definitely was fun, but I'm really glad that it's not in my house right now because I was a little tired of doing it, but proud at the same time,
I understand. Now, have you been building other things along with this, or this has just been where all your studs have been put together?
Yeah, I mean, that's my problem is I'll build on this really hard for 2 weeks, and then I would give up for 3 or 4 months. And that cycle repeated for the last 5 years, but I built a bunch of things in between. I still like buying sets where I can. I don't buy nearly as many. Like I genuinely think I built almost everything that was released between 2006 and 2011, just because I had access at that point. Hey, will you close the door, Damon? Thank you. Hi, I love you.
No.
kids started bringing popsicles, and that was going to get messy. But yeah, so it's actually been I'm real choosy on what I buy now, but as far as like a creative project, I haven't really come up with a new creative project, but I've been doing a whole lot of building other people's stuff right now. I was working on, I don't know if y'all saw, there was a Star Destroyer over the Jeddah Mountain.
Yeah.
That they got a while back, and I was working on that. I built the Star Destroyer part, but the guy who designed it picked the most expensive pieces he could possibly pick. So I am going to be building my own version of the mountain at some point because I'm not willing to pay $6 for a wedge plate. You back?
Yeah, that sounds like a common problem with rebreakable stuff. Oh, wait, let's see. Hang on, let me get you on the screen there.
Sure.
It's a poltergeist of Hoth.
Whoa.
Oh,
He knows words.
Poltergeist.
Okay, but
The engaged cannon
Steve,
has a lot of fireballs in it.
cool. Steve, by chance, do you have any staticky TVs in your house? I just want to know. I don't.
But every time it sees someone, this is
I've
the
lost my
spy.
platform.
Sorry, Steve, you're off the.
All right, you have to move on to something else, probably.
Wait, we all kind of are wanting to have some.
Okay, you guys, I'll be right back.
All right.
We lost him.
I want to know what those dogs were doing back there.
Yeah, the dogs were a little wild kingdom going on back there too. That was awesome.
Well, at least
It's
they're
always
looking
fun, man. I do not mind your kiddos being on the internet, so don't worry about it. So,
Yeah, at least the
You
dogs
got
are
it.
You know the best part? Do you know the best part was that when he was telling us like we're morons, it's a poltergeist.
Obviously.
It's awesome.
He's a smart kid and retains everything he hears and regurgitates it in ways that you wouldn't expect, which is odd when his teachers call us, but it's I want him to be creative and I want to discourage him from that.
all your friends are loving this, Steve. I'm just telling you, all the friends from back in the day. So, anyway, all right. So you are still building sets and everything. What is your favorite set, probably that you bought recently? Just to let us know.
I mean, the Pirates of Barracuda Bay was amazing.
So you have that. All right, cool deal.
That was like the first set I've gotten in a long time ago where I picked up the box and I was like, yeah, this was worth $200. You know what I mean? You know how you can get that feeling sometimes where you buy it and you're like, yeah, all right, licensing. And then that one I picked up and I was just like, oh, yes, I'm happy with this. I was happy before I opened it. Like that's how happy I was with that thing. But that's an amazing build if you don't have it already.
I do not. I can't. Who in the chat actually has the Pirates of Barracuda Bay? I can't remember.
I've got that one.
You got that one. All right. Yeah. That's the one thing that I feel like as a space guy that I might need to buy that set to vote with my dollars so Lego would go, oh, we should consider some other classic sets, maybe a space set. So
I mean, I think either space or castle is where they have to go next with that.
Yeah, for real. And
we need more of this.
Yeah.
We need more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show it up. Hold it up again. The new rover.
New rover.
That new rover is great. I mean, it's really great.
This is just wheels articulating, doing all sorts of fun stuff.
What's about that wheels articulating, Dana?
What's that?
Wheels articulating?
Yeah, wheels articulating. Yeah, sometimes they articulate that way.
There it is.
Can I drop myself from this?
Hey, I didn't even set that up. I wasn't going to do it, but Meredith forced it. She brought it in.
I'm going to go back to building things without wheels.
How do you unsubscribe from this thing?
Get off my base plate.
Oh, me. All right. So one of the things, and I know, Meredith, you were really passionate about it. We were talking about it the other day. One of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is Lego. And one of the things that they do, and it seems they're doing a little more of, is doing some exclusives that then make it really hard for us to get. I mean, it could be the poly bag, or it could be you got to spend $500 on Lego to get the little whatever set and all that kind of stuff. But they've also been doing stuff that was only released in certain areas and all that kind of stuff. Right, Meredith, hang on, what are you? You're pawing at something over there. There's so many people in my chat. I can't find my windows. There you are. Let me zoom in on you, eh? There we go. Well, what you got there? Oh, the Christmas set. You're muted, by the way.
I bought this off a former Lego employee at a store that had closed. So, I mean, I'm a Star Wars geek. I'm not as geeky as Dana. Not to insult him, but I mean, come on.
No offense taken.
Come on, Christmas. Who doesn't love Christmas? You got Christmas and you got Star Wars.
I have the Christmas set too. Don't forget. So I'm right there with you.
But you actually do. I don't do anything for Lego. So, but no, my issue was more with the red card exclusives. We had to try to reactivate our red card because we hadn't used it since we bought the Lego Movie 2.
Yes, which the Lego 2 movie was Benny and Wildstyle from the Lego movie, and I didn't get those because it was.
Well, actually, it was
Benny
Wildstyle and Emmett was from Walmart, and then Target was Benny and Wildstyle.
There you go.
You got to push up your glasses when you say that.
But you had to have, for the Target ones, you had to have the red card.
Yes.
Which, for some reason, they don't like me. I don't know. I pay all my bills. I figured they would love to give me a credit card, but apparently they won't. But the dual Besman came out, and thank you someone in the chat who woke up at 5 a.m. to buy them on the website for me.
Wait, those are already gone?
They were gone at 7 o'clock when I get into my office. I was just checking, and they were gone by like 7:30.
And I was at Shop at Home that was gone by then, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I released them in waves because I was able to get another one off of Target at like 10:30, which is kind of weird. When they would show that they were unavailable at 9 o'clock. So I think they're doing them in waves, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I'm not quite sure.
What were you gonna say, Mark?
I was just saying I happened to be awake last night at midnight with a touch of insomnia, so I got up and took melatonin to get to sleep, and I was surfing the internet and saw that someone posted in the Lego deal on Reddit that it was live, and so I just clicked over and ordered one of those for myself. So,
yep.
I clicked over. Dana or Shannon posted that it was available, and I knew I had remembered earlier. The day before, I had been like, "Oh, I need to get one at midnight," and then I completely forgot about it. Thank you, ADHD, but
all right.
But I also got the Wonder Woman, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Now, the Carter Baldwin has done his first set for Lego, and it's the Wonder Woman exclusive and all that kind of stuff. And was that supposed to be for the DC event, or was that?
Yep, that was a DC. So DC, because of San Diego not happening this year, DC took it upon themselves to do their own virtual con, and in conjunction with that, the set that they would have normally done through Lego during San Diego, they decided to do just through Shop at Home.
Okay, so now, and I didn't understand the rules because I was ADD. I didn't want to read it. I don't understand it. So people were complaining about, especially about the Bestman thing, that it went from being called an event kit to something else, or went from something else to being called an event kit, and so therefore it was limited in its run, and was not available anywhere else in the world except for the United States. Is that correct?
So the problem there is, and I'll take point on this one. So as we recall, that Lego made the announcement sometime, I think it was last year, that they were no longer going to do regional exclusives.
Like this.
Oh, wrong screen, Chris.
Yeah, no, I just don't know what's going on there. I was just curious. Anyway, go ahead.
So they after they started,
the camera.
That was a risky click.
So after they started releasing sets in, thank you for putting the hat on. I know we had some viewers that were concerned by that. After they started releasing some sets in China to increase the China market, we're going to go back to that shot in a minute there, Chris. We'll continue on. So after releasing some of these sets in China, and the American and the European market started going, whoa, we want these same sets. And so it caused them to say, okay, we're not going to do any regional exclusives. We'll make them available across the globe. It's Lego. Everybody wants it. The caveat is if it was a set or polybag that is done specifically for an event, then it will stay an event product. So it will only be available at said event. Well, now we have COVID-19 and San Diego Comic-Con, which has always been a event location, and Star Wars Celebration has always been an event location. So those sets would be only exclusive to that location. Well, now they don't have that event, so they're going to have to sell them online, and therefore they made both of the sets of those shows only available to the North American market. And that is where everybody went batshit.
Oh, look, I've gone cross-eyed. Anyway, all right, so I got it. All right. So, yeah. So the flip side of that is, though, people who want the sets are like, Lego, why are you playing games with us? Why, we don't get all this.
Well, and not to defend the company line in any way, shape, or form, but they're going by their own rules, ironically. I mean, they've stated that this set's only going to be available in the United States, theoretically. So that's what they did.
So
I mean,
is this set like a one print and done? Like, is it out of stock now?
It's a one print and done. When it runs out, it runs out. That's it.
And they advertise that in the Lego catalog this month,
and the North American Lego catalog. I believe it's on page like 37, give or take. I don't know.
What I saw online was that I just got that catalog too, and I saw that, and I was like, okay, cool. So it's not like an exclusive anymore. But man, that's crazy if they're advertising it in there and it's already sold out. Like,
oh yeah.
Wait, didn't it say exclusive right there on the page, right?
Does it say that? I didn't see it.
That's a big term, though.
Yeah, like usually that just means like hard to find for Lego.
No, it says new.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Just new.
No, I thought my mistake. I thought I saw an exclusive.
Yeah. It's just going to be available forever. That's horrible. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to ask something, Steve. You know that your wife used to service, right? Is that correct?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Susan Williams.
Okay. Yes, she was. You married Susan Williams, dude. That's awesome. Anyway, how much stress would she be feeling right now if Lego had announced a set in the catalog, limited release, and it was sold out before most kids got the catalog?
She's coming to answer.
Gotta be quiet. So, it's a good question. I don't know if it would ever compare to the Christmas stress. They knew you were going to ask me something. I don't know. Shh, buddy. But she had been told enough times that she had ruined some child's Christmas that I don't know that this would be a blip on her radar in terms of stress. I know that things like this were never fun, but it's probably... it's probably something that, it would have been frustrating for a few days, but I don't think it would ever match the Christmas stress.
Hey, by the way, does your kid know what the atomic elbow is? I want to see one thrown right now. The atomic elbow, you know. Anyway. Oh, there she is.
Do you want to ask her?
Yes.
Hi, Meg.
Meg.
They actually have a question for you.
Oh boy, what's up?
All right.
Me and a partner right now planting seeds. What's up?
We know you. One of the things we're talking about is Lego put a set in the catalog they just released. The Star Wars set as well, so add that in. But it was actually an event kit that was going to be limited release. So they released it it was out for 2 hours and it's completely sold out, but they're not making it anymore. But it's in the Lego catalog. Now you used to work customer service. Tell me what your day would have been like for that.
It's one of those days days like that we call job security days. So yeah, that would have been a fun day. Sometimes you have a little checklist of how many Christmases or birthdays you ruin. That might have been one of those days too. So anyway, did any of you guys get lucky enough to get it?
Oh yeah, there are some of us who got it.
Some of us got
Definitely.
it. Some of us did.
Some of us don't go to bed till after midnight. So
Yeah.
Some of us are up at 5 in the morning making Tropicana orange juice.
Number two.
Patting someone on the back. All right. Well, I'm being called. So nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Hey, Bill, Howie, how are you, man? Good to see you. All right. So, I can't imagine what they are about to have to field there.
What?
Do you think they would fire that set back up and make it?
Nope. Because if you think about it,
No chance.
Star Wars Celebration Chicago, which was 2018 is when they did this.
Yep.
And was originally only at Star Wars Celebration. And then as Star Wars Celebration ended, they took whatever they didn't sell at Celebration and made it a Target Red Card exclusive. And again, just like this, within a day, poof, they're gone.
All right. I see you, young man, raising your hand. I see you. Thank you for raising your hand, buddy. What question do you have for us?
So as a school teacher, we actually have a little function on our video chat, which is the upraised hand. Apparently, it's StreamYard doesn't have it. But no, I was just going to go back to the Chinese New Year set. So when those first two sets came out, I was one of those people who really wanted them. And I was talking with another a local Atlanta guy, Chris Harbour, who he still builds Lego, but he isn't active with our lug. And he also wanted the sets. And then he ended up talking to another friend of ours who now lives in Nevada. And this guy travels to China for business at least once a year. So this friend of a friend bought one each of the New Year's sets, tore them out of the box to put the poly bags in his luggage, and brought them back and then mailed them to us. And so, sometimes you have to go to lengths, but I was very excited to get the first two Chinese New Year's sets. So they're good sets. And as someone who might want to buy more Chinese stuff, I'm glad to know that, the later releases have been available in the United States. So I do appreciate that Lego's trying to cut back on this. And I think, people are going to wig out, but this was genuinely a event exclusive that got changed because of COVID. And I think people should just chill out, but they won't.
Well, it doubles it. It's got Star Wars on it. That makes it 10 times worse and everything. Speaking of the Chinese exclusive,
Actually, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
Here's my
Actually, yeah. Actually, Chris, that's one thing too that I was just gonna add is that we talked about just during the day, like not just Lego, but like every single line this year is having exclusives. A lot of it because of, like Dana was saying, because of COVID, events being canceled, like San Diego, everywhere, right? Some of their own cons, like Hasbro has its own con now. Mattel has like PowerCon, so everyone's got all these things where normally they'd release these things. So now they're coming as exclusives, and it's been manic, like for everything across the board. Like for some of the Hasbro stuff, like the G.I. Joe large ones, the 6-inch ones, like there's several instances where actually they've had a Target exclusive there that came out of nowhere, nobody knew about, and there's been people dragged out by the cops out of Target because they've gotten into fights with either employees, other losers, whatever, right? So it's like, it's something which this particular year, the exclusive mania is crazy. And the other thing that some are speculating that's driving it is that some of the scalpers, they used to kind of do it part-time. They have their normal job. And then they would, they pick up these things and they scalp them for extra money, whatever. There's the chance that some of these people have actually lost their full-time job due to COVID. So now this is where they're making their money, right? So now it's even more, let's go. So there's that could probably, that could also be affecting this whole sort of mania that we're having now for exclusive across all lines.
And
ultimately, do you think it's good for the hobby community and that community, or does it do more harm than good?
I think it's a wash.
I think that in the end, it's actually like for the community, the collector community, it's toxic. It's really bad. But for the companies who are making these products, it's good, which makes a really crappy situation, right? So, like, I mean, I've seen people on Facebook groups, and even on Lego Facebook groups too. They'll score it exclusive, they'll put it, and half the people or less will be, "Hey, man, great." The other half will be, "Hey, like especially if say you got two, oh much, you got two, you're like a pariah, right?" So, yeah. So I think for collectors, not so good. For companies, they must be loving it because they're moving product.
Yeah, all right.
It's really interesting because the companies don't make any more.
In a lot of instances, the companies aren't even making the money. Is because when I was back when I was there, I worked a bunch of San Diego Comic Cons and Star Wars celebrations, kind of. Where we were doing exclusives, and that was back when Legoland was separate, and they were the ones doing the selling. So Lego wasn't making a dime off of it. They were producing them, they were doing all of it, and then Legoland was actually picking up all the work. Of course, this was also back when we were literally gluing minifigures onto base plates and putting them in shadow boxes. Which is fine. They're much more polished and refined now than they used to be, but it's kind of crazy. But also the thing that really struck me is just no matter what system you tried to adopt at a con, and this kind of goes back to what the other gentleman was saying about how toxic it could be, but no matter what kind of rules for fairness you tried to adopt, no matter what you did, it was always a bloodbath. And it was something that you wouldn't even try as like an employee. It's like, I want one of those. I mean, like, I don't want to get involved.
Right.
I don't need that. I'm staying far away. But it was
for sure. Yeah.
But it was just fascinating how like competitive and angry and I don't know if it's just a collector mentality in general, but it was never a good time when that was happening. I didn't do the gluing. Stop it.
I got it done, but here's my thought on this. Someone brought this up, and I can't remember where I heard it. But the people who are going to resell these on Bricklink, Lego is going to be making another fee for selling the same set.
Well, the other question is will Bricklink put in something to stop them from doing it?
That's
That'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years.
Somebody's got 8 listed on Bricklink right now.
Nice.
And so I wanted to touch base on the fact that that's going to happen. Is that like Steve was saying, that no matter what rules are put into place to make things fair, there's always going to be those people who find ways to circumvent the system and get more than they should and make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
And also what Steve said, it is a collector's market mentality, because this is nothing new. I mean, Lego may be dipping their feet in the toes in this type of scenario once or twice a year. Comic book market, toy collecting, or toy cars, action figures, they've been doing this for decades. And it causes the same strife among collectors every single time. And the companies, they just keep on doing it. And
this is kind of related, but kind of not. And it's a quick story I want to tell before I have to go. But when I was working the cons back then, all the fan cons, we would always try to do something with brand retail where we would get a bunch of extra stock or damaged stock, and just the statement you made about the Bricklink thing kind of sparked this in my memory. But we did one at Tyson's Corner. No, maybe it was when we were in Virginia. I don't remember which. It was one of the two stores out there. But there was a
Potomac Mills.
What? Yeah, that one. But there was a couple people, and they were nice people, but they ran a Bricklink store, and that's what they were there for. And somehow they got to the front of the line and bought everything. And it just reminds me of just the idea of, where we had to institute drawings and new rules and all this stuff after that, because these people were buying it and then selling it the next day at the con. And it's not that we wanted people to not have their business or not do this, but at the same time, we were trying to do a nice thing for people. And it got turned into this big argument, this big, ugly thing, because this one couple was like, hey, let's get a bunch of stuff for our store.
Yeah.
And I think that also might be what the mentality is with exclusives. It's like, hey, I'm going to get this and make some money. And it's a very kind of me mentality. Whereas it's the purpose behind these things is usually let's give some people some joy and some enjoyment out of this thing. But it never ends up being that way. It always ends up being, how can I make a buck off of this? How can I do this? So I wonder, I'm rambling here, but I wonder if it actually is a positive thing for any of these communities to do these kind of things, because it always ends up being the people who really want it never get it. The people who do get it always scalp it for as much as they can, and then there's a few people who actually get it and they count themselves lucky. But it's a real weird balance. Ramble.
No, you're dead on right there. It is a weird mix, and that's why I said it's kind of a wash in the end, because you just nailed it out. All three segments: people who are making money off of it, people who get lucky and get it, and people who don't get it. It happens every time, and it's unfortunate, but it's a sad fact. I mean, the only way to do it is for the companies to stop doing exclusives. And the whole reason they're doing it is exactly what you're saying, is they're trying to do something nice, and it gets abused. It's unfortunate. I hate it.
So, and guys, I actually have to step out. The kids are going, but I wanted to actually show you a couple like super exclusive things that I have that I've never gotten to show anyone, because I was always afraid to, but now I don't think they can do anything to me.
Dun, dun, dun.
They can't touch you. But so it's a couple really random things we got at the company. So this one is the white Boba Fett.
Ooh.
They made 50 of these. It just handed them out at random. So that's my first one.
Nice.
This one is dropped it. It's a test shot C3PO head in yellow.
Nice.
Which I saw someone put one up in one of those most expensive minifigures things, and this one was $10,000, and I was like, oh. Should I insure it?
Pay off that car.
I don't know, but the one that I've never seen anywhere though is this one, which is a test shot. It's a test shot in creamsicle.
Looks like pearl light orange.
Ocean orange.
But it's not quite. I know what you're talking about, and this was maybe 10 years before they ever made that. But you can see the test shot because the hands don't even fit in. It was a weird thing. All of these parts were unique. but I always loved them, and I never got to show anyone. And then this was the last thing I want to show you is they were making these for some kind of Egyptian set.
Oh,
It's actually beveled and indented. And I always thought that those were really, really cool, but they never ended up making them, probably because they were too expensive. But
That looks awesome.
that's my fun stuff.
That was
But it was a pleasure talking to everybody. I hope to get to do it again.
Please do.
And thank you for inviting me.
You bet. Hey, you're always on the
Bye,
list. Join
Steve.
anytime
Thanks,
you want
Steve.
to. Invite emails, man.
Thanks for
Bye, you
coming.
guys.
Bye, Steve.
Hey, Steve, is it okay if we tell embarrassing stories
Thanks,
about you
man.
after you log off?
I really can't control that.
It's like an exclusive.
You need to ask.
Send a cease and desist.
Yeah. I've changed my diet since the time I stayed at Mark's house, so things are better than they once were. That doesn't happen anymore.
They're just in there.
We asked Meg the wrong question.
Anyways, you guys are great, and I miss you all. Take it easy.
I see.
Love you, man. Talk to you later.
Good night.
He broached the subject, but I'm not going to tell it right now. So,
How much more embarrassing could it be than the kids?
I think
bouncing on
actually
the bed
Rich.
behind
I
him
think
and
Rich
the
like
dog-
swallowed the camera, and we're getting a picture of his colon or something.
Colon Cam 2020.
oh, there's a
I'm watching Holy Moly, and
Oh,
they just
there we
played
go.
Uranus. So
He's alive.
You know, Rich, there is a button to stop the camera.
Wait. So going back to exclusives,
Yeah, by the way, the youngest person in the room wants to get back to the subject.
getting on topic, because I was what he's gone now, but Steve said before he left was the mentality of employees just saying like I'm not going to get involved, and that's really like the stance that I've had to take now with any sort of exclusive, be it from Lego or like any other toy company or collectible company, is like there's always going to be products and stuff that you can't get a hold of for one reason or another, or like that you won't have access to, and I'm kind of just like I don't want to deal with it. Like I don't need those things. If I get one, that's cool, but like you just kind of got to reserve yourself to like I'm not going to get that, and that'd be okay. And I feel like people get way too upset because they're like, I need this and I, deserve this exclusive thing. And it's like, well, I mean, not everybody's going to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing when I woke up this morning and saw the announcement, I think Mark had posted or whatever, and I went over to lego.com and clicked, and it was available, and I went, oh, okay. Now I'm like, crud, I got to put that on eBay, man. I do it, right?
Yeah.
But,
Well, no,
but it was also $40 of plastic that I didn't want to deal with because it didn't. Okay, can I just tell you the thing about that set that I did not like is while they put the Bestman thing, they put the whatever, the fork thing or whatever at the bottom, right? The hay scoop, whatever it is, it's bent. Okay, I mean
The hay scoop.
Really? The hay fork thing, whatever.
The guy from the south called it the hay scoop.
The minister who's dealing with
whatever New York boy. Shiny. Hang on, I can take care of that.
What kind of city slicker
now.
talk
There we go.
is
All right.
that? That's the hay thing. I thought you were
But anyway, everybody's like, yeah, the thing. I'm like, but it's bent. It doesn't look like that little fork thing in there. It looks like a hay fork standing there and there. Anyway, I can't. It is not my deal. So
it's all about perspective.
The funny thing about FOMO is like when I
like your scoop, Mark.
I saw that set in the magazine and I was like, oh, it's going to be around for a while. And then, just now finding out that it's exclusive and it's already gone, I'm like, wait, I want that. And then I'm like, wait, no, I didn't. Like when I saw that in the catalog, I was like, I don't care. But suddenly now it's gone. It's like, oh, I need it for no reason. Like I just need it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah,
There's like a psychology behind it. Yeah.
What is Richard doing now? I'm almost scared to go and click Richard's thing.
He's showing you old pictures.
He's just showing. He's going through old pictures.
It's Brucey.
Yeah, man.
Brucey.
What is up with Bruce? Is he still doing stuff?
Yeah, I think he's pretty busy with work, but he also does a bunch of custom minifig stuff, and I think he's got 4 kids now too.
Wow, really? Wow.
Well, I think
People with 4 kids
the last
do
picture
anything.
Scott was telling Larry about professional lighting.
Yeah, Palmer's in all the picks, man. That's cool. Cool deal.
So there's
All
one,
right.
there's one exclusive we haven't talked about, and it's the Lego Store exclusives.
Oh,
They
okay.
do like a May the 4th event, and usually they've done it where it's it's an all weekend thing. So if they do the May the 4th and they're going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they've got a poly bag to give away or whatever like that, and then a couple of years ago they went and did something stupid and made a boxed set that was only available from 9 a.m. I think until 10 a.m. for just VIPs who came into the store, and you had to spend $300 to get this. So
that wasn't a Comic Con exclusive.
No, this was a May the 4th exclusive.
Oh, okay.
And so each store only got so many copies, and when they sold, if they ran out of them, they ran out of them. But if they didn't run out of them, and after I think the event was from 9 until 10, and it was early VIP exclusive, and then at 10 o'clock, which how many ever copies they had left, boom, they pulled them.
They had to send back,
and they had to send back. And I believe Matthew, you were an employee at the time, were you not?
I was an employee, correct. And when I tallied up in my brain if I was going to drop $300 just to get that thing, I was like, store manager's like, "Are you going to do it?" Because he knows me, and I'm like, I'm not pulling the trigger. It's not worth $300 to get that one exclusive.
But but you were working that morning, if I'm not mistaken, and he told you that if you were trying to get it, that Thomas would have had to come in and get it for you.
That's true. Yeah. So, I mean, I could have worked around it. He would have let Thomas buy it, but no employee discount. It would have been $300 full fare to get the. So, I just downloaded the instructions and I'm like, I can build the mini.
Yeah, there's no uncommon pieces in the set whatsoever.
Right.
No.
But
That's exactly it. This is what is insane. You're paying for the box. You're paying for the box.
The box and instructions. That's what this is the box and instructions, because everything else, it's all common parts.
Yeah.
But literally,
well, I mean,
it's crazy.
Dana's got this status symbol now.
Can't time out real quick. Has anybody noticed that every time we said exclusive, and all of a sudden Dana's like, "Oh, I've got the exclusive this," and yeah, I've got this, and then the exclusive this, I've got that, and this, I got the every single one of them.
We have not brought James onto this show and all of his minifigures, so I am by far not even a drop in the bucket. So my ego is completely fine at this point in time.
So those super hard to find minifigs, James' life goal is to collect them all.
Yeah. James has connections all over the globe for figures that there's like 50 of. Yeah, he's got one of them. But the point I wanted to bring up in this part of this conversation is that literally I walked out of the store with this set and just happened to look online, and already on eBay they were going for $250 to $300.
Yep. I remember that.
Not even an hour. Not even
I would have flipped it.
Yeah.
You know me. I mean, when there's some, I flip ones I'm not interested in, and the ones that I like, I keep. And so, Harry Potter on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to go in there, buy a set for parts, and I'm going to flip the exclusive, and I'm going to flip the minifigs because I don't care about Harry Potter, and I'm going to keep all the parts, and it's only going to cost me $40 by the time I flip everything. That's how I pay for my stuff. So,
But unfortunately, what Lego does when they did this is even worse than what they did today with Bespin and what they've done with other things. Because this was a super, super limited to the point where they didn't even let you sell out the quantity they made. They made you ship them back and destroy them. That's crazy.
Destroyed them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I don't want to, probably another offshoot to a show, but things that Lego has in the store or whatever they do, they will recycle, they will ship back, they will do all sorts of things that would make you cry.
Well, let me just tell you that's a new.
Did you know the one?
So when I was an employee, we were told to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes getting rid of it was my trunk or someone else's trunk, but it was gone. And then they started making them send the play brick back to Lego to whatever Lego's going to do with it, either melt it down or give it out to AFOL groups or whatever Lego does. But
Ryan's probably got way firsthand knowledge on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably gonna spill the
But
beans.
the other thing is too, though, to remember with exclusives, though, is that exclusives, like Steve was saying, like the company typically they don't really make a lot off the exclusive. But what's happening with that from a marketing perspective is that exclusive is promoting the next cycle, right? So you have an exclusive, it comes in, and then it drives up the mania for it. And then later on, it's doing it so when the next thing comes out, it's driving the thirst of don't miss out on that one, right? So it's always like planning like one ahead. So that's why, like, when I see exclusives, like whether it's Lego or anybody else, it bothers me because I feel like I'm being manipulated. Really, it's not fun. It's not cool. It's not great. I just feel like the company's saying, you know what, I'm going to jack with you a bit, right? And and that's just not cool, man.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no bad PR.
Yeah. So
There's no bad PR. I mean, whatever they can do to generate buzz is a bonus for them.
If you're an OCD person who believes in collecting them all, it is driving you mad because your brain is like, I must be complete. And I have had to give up on that and let that go and just choose exclusives I really want.
That's the same way I am, because I very much have that like completionist, collectionist type mentality. And so when I finally was able to be like, I just got to let it go. Like I can't get them all, so it's okay. My life's just been better for it.
I learned that a long time ago with all kinds of the different themes, whether it was space or castle or whatever. I mean, I'd like, oh, I must have that castle set with those figs from Falconers and Enforcement, or I must have that one Futron set. I must have it. But no, I think Lego does. They're really of the opinion now that which every major, I want to say, player in the world is. It doesn't matter what the publicity is, good or bad. It's publicity.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, back in the day, sets were on. I mean, there were no exclusive stuff, and sets were on the shelf for 2 years and all that kind of jazz. And so we didn't have all that back in those days and everything. So, but let me ask you a question. How many of you have actually seen a 501st set in the store?
I don't go anymore, so
nope.
I'm not
proving my point.
You thought I was going to disappoint you?
There's your
others. But I don't remember what chat we were in, or somebody was saying that each Target got like 4 copies in their first shipment, and there were guys just grabbing that box and going. I mean, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and I saw in I don't remember what adult fans of Lego or whatever it was, somebody bragging they had 8 and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I can think of there's some Star Wars kids who want that set for legit reasons, and you've just sucked them up. I wish Lego, this is just me pontificating here, if Lego is going to set street dates for new sets, especially Star Wars set, they should set limits of 1 or 2 on those sets for the first 2 or 3 weeks, so somebody can't go and get them all and
put it on allocation.
Yeah, I mean, if they could set a street date in the computer, they could set a limit on a set for a couple weeks too. I mean, that's just me.
That's not going to work because the Target employees have no vested interest in enforcing it. Somebody comes in, they get their friend to use a different credit card, and they go right back to the checkout lane, and they're going to buy 8. They're just going to use 8 different credit cards. I agree with you. Like, I like the fact that when big new sets come out at the Lego brand store, they will limit 1 set per customer. And customers used to get mad at us. Like, they would come in and they were like, I want to buy 5 of the, such and such set. And we're like, we're sorry.
Yep.
And I have gotten into some serious throwdowns online about this, and I'm like, look, if somebody walks in and buys 8 and then puts them on eBay, they're competing with the Lego store for sales. They are wiping out Lego's stock so that if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, and you really want one, you have to go on eBay and buy it from them and not from the Lego group. And the Lego group has every right to protect their ability to sell something to a customer who walks into their branded store. And people have gotten really mad at me, like, well, there's no way, you know, the Lego shouldn't be allowed to limit my purchases. And I'm like, yeah,
I think
they should. They own the product, and you're competing with them. You're competing for a markup over the official price. They have every right to limit.
And the unfortunate thing is that they can enforce it in their own stores, but they can't enforce it in the other stores.
Yeah.
Well, and that's so funny when Lego does something that in the release date, the Lego store usually is the last one to put it out. It seems like so.
I mean, when I worked at the Legoland store in Atlanta, like they had to go and take pictures of retail stores selling it already on the shelves before they were allowed to get the okay from Lego to put it out. Because I mean, they have to be the last ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So crazy. Well, anyway, I mean, but this then circles back to at least the way I'm doing Lego nowadays. Although I will say the hidden side fire truck, which we got early, we got it Tuesday afternoon, and I was super stoked about it. I was motivated to get it, and I pre-ordered it, and it was supposed to come in September. Then it was supposed to come the 28th of August. And it came yesterday, and we live built it last night, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and everything. So I'm guilty of it, and the Rover too, and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna do it, but for me though, it's like maybe I just don't want the sets anymore. I just want the parts to build what I want, right? And so Bricks and Pieces, of course, has come through with that. So I got a new order here and all that kind of jazz. So I mean, I guess what you're passionate about drives your sales, but you can have some kindness and some not so greediness and all that kind of. Oh, somebody's raising his hand again. What?
Well, I mean, the other point that I would make is that the gift with purchase has changed the way I buy products, especially now that I'm not a store employee. So there's a couple of expensive sets that I plan to buy, say the Beatles set, which I'm going to buy just for parts. And I'm going to wait for either double VIP or I'm going to wait for spend $100 and get this nice gift with purchase. And so I will buy that set eventually, but I'm going to time it to get as much extras as I can get.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm absolutely going to buy that set, but they are moderating when I buy it by what they offer.
Agreed. So,
do you know one thing I think it's like a really good sort of philosophy, and I don't know if you guys ever were looking for something to watch. A guy named Dan Larson does Toy Got Galaxy. It's like a review thing and fun channel kind of thing. And he's got shirts made. It says, like if you see one, grab it. If you see two, leave one for the next guy. So that's his credo, right? And that's what it's all about. Like, if you can do that, you got the best of both worlds, man. You got you're buying the exclusive, you're supporting the company, and you're supporting the community. You're not being a D-bag, right? So it's like, if you can follow that philosophy, everybody wins. But it's when people stop following that's when it gets toxic all over again. So.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, is that when people stop following that. But the problem is that most people don't follow it in the first place, and that's where we are. Yeah. I mean, I live in a market here in the North Atlanta area where there are guys who are like Chris was saying, people, whether it was their full-time job before or their part-time job, but now it's their full-time job, who are going out there and grabbing everything off the shelves. I mean, my Walmart never has any Star Wars toys on the pegs at all. Because as soon as they come in,
same here.
And,
when the Rise of Skywalker exclusives came out, I made an attempt to go find a couple of them, and a guy walked in right in front of me and bought every one in the local Target, and I just quit and I went home. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So,
and so the frustrating thing is if you do find it, you want to be that good guy, and you're like, well, I'll leave one, or I'll leave 3 out of the 4, and then the guy right behind me comes in and goes, oh, I only lost 1 because some guy left the other 3. You know, sometimes I'll grab 2 of something because I know I've got buddies in the area that I'll hook up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You mean like when you have 3 solar transports?
I could use some monorail.
Actually, I have there is an offer on the table for me to trade the monorail for a green grocer, and it might happen.
I don't have a green grocer.
You're not the one who has the green grocer that I might trade a monorail for.
I'll get one.
You know, I kind of have this view of like Dana's basement to be like Scrooge McDuck's vault, that he just jumps off of diving boards down into sets and exclusives and signed copies of stuff. That's like, you know, he's swimming in it. It's like, you know, it's coming up like fountains.
Yeah, he makes it. He spits and like all these golden C-3POs come out of his mouth and everything, right? Yeah.
I am nowhere.
That's right. That's right.
Although going through Richard Seamus's alt room with all the bulk bins in it, holy cow!
Yeah, that was very Scrooge McDuck for sure.
Holy moly!
Hey guys, I could talk to you guys forever, but we need to cut it. We're actually at an hour 40, so. Just hang on for the after show. We'll hang out and everything. Thank you guys for joining us. All you folks who've been in the chat. We had a lot of old friends and everything. David Cooties, you're here, and Brick Bunnies, you're here. Hope Castle, good to see you, man. And all the folks in the chat. Thank y'all for being here today. Thank you for my friends hanging out with me. You all mean so much to me, and I appreciate it. Make sure you do something creative for somebody. Build a spaceship and be kind to your neighbor. Put your mask on, for crying out loud. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, YouTube.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.